All right, we're live. We're all in the studio. We're fucking here. This is great. I will say my mom called me today and she said, number one, much preferred when we're all in studio.
Yeah.
Number two, she really liked the episode with Risa and the women. She liked the women angle. So great job to the executive producer, Anand.
No, I think that episode got a lot of great feedback. I got a lot of DMs. I'm sure Risa did as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did, and sure you did, Dee, as well.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was great. So
that's awesome.
Here we are. We're all in studio. Mom, you're welcome. Anything going on in the news? Not much, right?
No, nothing's going on.
Sports, anything? We got anything to talk about? Is there anything going on in LA? No, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, guys, everyone have a good week. Sorry. It's just everything's peaceful and calm. And the world's richest man isn't walking around with a black eye and mysteriously having meltdowns and everything's fine. There's not fucking the riots waging in the streets about a mile from here.
I love everything that's going on. It's unbelievable content.
Yes.
It's too good.
I mean, we said it, I think, like, number one, just what a great 5 years to have a podcast. But I think like last year we said, if Trump gets elected, it's just nonstop blockbuster content.
I'm now fully convinced CNN paid to get Trump elected.
Why wouldn't?
Just to keep the ratings going?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm CNN, you're dead. Sleepy killed your ratings. You're woke, you're a disaster. No one wants to hear anything that has anything to do with CNN.
Yep.
The last 3 months saved CNN.
I mean, we could do an episode. I don't know how people do weekly. We could do an episode every day with block filled to the brim.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was quiet, like kind of like the first month of his administration because he was trying to like figure out what he wants to do. Now it's just blockbuster.
But even the first month is when you and I were like victory lap in America's great golden age.
Yeah, but that was just more like a stomp out Nipsey Hussle victory lap.
That's fair. Yeah. Shout out to Nipsey.
Yeah. I mean, I think I predicted this, that
you actually did predict the Elon Trump fallout, so I'll give you credit for that.
I hate to give it to you, but I'll give it to you. You deserve it.
Egos that big. You have the richest guy in the world, the most powerful guy in the world. What's going to happen?
It makes me sad.
It's like Shaq Kobe, right?
It makes me sad.
Yeah, they both
just like Shaq Kobe
burning
makes me
their
sad.
careers.
I had this hope for the world's most effective man.
My gut had told me a year of like cooperation.
But he was almost there. His time was up, 160 days or whatever.
Huh?
He only had like 160 days that you can even be this like special government employee. He got at the buzzer.
Yeah.
A meltdown.
Yeah. I look, I think ultimately what led to all this chaos was when the big beautiful bill, which is an unbelievable name.
Do you really think it was the big beautiful bill? There has to be something behind the scenes.
No, I don't think so.
I don't believe it.
I think it's more of like the big beautiful bill came and Elon doesn't give a fuck. So he just said, fuck, this bill sucks. Which a lot of people did. A lot of people have spoken out on the bill and said, this bill sucks. And then it probably got him a little traction that the bill does suck. And so he doubled down, tripled down, and kept going. And then it got back to the president. Yo, shut the fuck up. Big beautiful bill is my shit.
You really don't think there was some nefarious shit going in the background?
No. I don't think, I think egos are pretty simple.
Well, here's what else I want to add is over the last year or two, Elon has, and I would say for the majority of his career, but really over the last year or two, he's won by ruthlessly following his belief at the expense of all personal give a shitness, right? Like in his mind, at least how he explains it, is he looked and saw that if Trump needed to win the election, so he was willing to burn literally his cars, his relationships, all the stuff, potentially businesses, to get Trump elected, right? Yeah. And so if you see the same thing with government spending, I think he just did the same thing. Like
I went through his Twitter feed today.
Yeah.
And he retweeted Walter Isaacson talking about the book he did. I know you read it, right? Mm-hmm. Saying like all he cares about is humanity. He doesn't care about money.
Right. Which I actually believe, but I think that it's just his like people skills are non-existent. So like, yeah, you get Trump elected, but what happens when Trump doesn't do everything that you wanted him to do? Like, yes, it's still better in his mind than Kamala, but here comes big, beautiful Bill, and you don't agree with that. And he can't help but burn the whole house down about that too.
So here's one thing I said in one of our group chat threads with which Dee is on, that Friedberg actually called this right after the inauguration.
Yeah.
So they all went to DC for the Trump inauguration, and they met with all of Congress, Senate, House, everyone. And he's like, I don't think we're cutting anything. He's like, they all have to go back to their constituents and make sure they get money.
Yeah, but So I understand that. I think
and that's Republican and Democrat.
Yeah. It's all politicians are horrible at cutting spending. I think the piece that I think that threw Elon off was, fine, I can't cut shit. You're going to spend $4 trillion?
Right.
Are you joking? On
No,
what?
I agree. That's
what are
I
you
think.
spending on?
Yeah.
Right. And I think
because I bet if you look at it, it is absurd.
It's a horseshit bill.
Yeah.
It's a horseshit bill. It should not get it should not get passed, and it's terrible. Like, no one wants to see more spending. And the reality is, and I've read a lot of different people who are like the cutters. You have to cut shit that's going to hurt people. It's reality. That's the only way you could ever balance the budget. And so,
but I would argue that there is shit in that bill that is pure horseshit.
So
yeah, like going to Booz Allen.
Yeah, but they're done. They've been cut. But that was like $10 billion.
What'd you say?
We need
Booz Allen's a consulting firm that gets like 90% of their revenue is from the government.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is I think you're even talking about like way down the line, the cuts that would hurt
about like
people.
If you needed to cut $1 trillion, where are you going?
Yeah, but I think that agreed. But I think that if you did everything that Elon just did, and then if you looked at that bill, and I didn't read it, but I'm guessing that what's in there is so offensive where that money's.
I'll tell you the best part of the whole thing. You guys are missing the entire point. Elon fucking rammed Scott Bessent.
Okay, that's the rumor. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The rumor is started by Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon said it, not like some outsider. Steve Bannon is...
It checks out.
Is Steve Bannon still part of the White House, or is that Stephen Miller?
Stephen Miller's part of the
Steve
White
Bannon
House.
might be bullshitting.
No, but
it checks out.
So Elon, to kind of bring it around, Elon had a black eye, and the rumor is Bessent socked him in the face.
Socked him, and they got in a fight. Bessent called him a fraud. Said you couldn't cut $1 trillion. You're a joke.
And then it said Elon rammed a rugby ram or whatever. I don't know what that means.
Body check.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I don't know how old Bessent is. He looks a little older.
He's old. He's old school. Like, you fuck with you met Bessent at the bar. You hit on his babe.
Yeah.
He's smacking you out.
How's Elon gonna fight Zuck if he can't fight Bessent?
I think Bessent's whooping Mark and fucking
I think
Elon.
Bessent is built differently than Elon and Mark.
They're different era.
You know?
That era, like,
Yeah, it's like schoolyard fight.
yeah, you're going to school. You're gonna brawl.
Yeah. But it checks out. I mean, look, let me just ask you
If
this.
that really happened,
But let me ask you this. What are the chances that there's an entire blow up, everything goes to shit, and Elon's son happened to punch him in the face? Not very likely.
Elon's son?
no. X is
Can I
not.
tell you?
Do you know that's what he said?
Do you know how many
old is his
times
kid?
The explanation was his son
kid's
said,
like sub 3.
Okay,
the
so
explanation was his son said, "Can I punch you in the face?" And he
Miles,
said,
my 4-year-old, literally last week,
Yeah.
kicked me in the balls and punched me in the face.
Yep, no
Look at my
marks.
face.
My
Yep.
son
Look at my
Mav.
balls.
Yeah.
My son
Now,
Mav.
Scott Bessent punched you in the face.
My son Mav punched me probably 6 times in the face today.
Right. You look great. So that was the explanation.
Yeah.
So what are the chances that his kid punches him and
Okay.
blacks his eye as there's a
Scott
blow?
Bessent just
Right.
knocked him out.
Right.
That's awesome.
Over tariffs, right?
know what?
Probably.
I like this.
I think over spending and just
I like this.
I bet
this
Scott Bessent
This
is at
is
his-
real conviction. You
Yeah.
want tariffs?
Yeah. I want fist fighting in the White House.
No, I mean, that's,
I want you to fight for my
fight for our rights.
literally.
Who's going to do the book about what just happened the last 60
Oh,
days?
it's coming.
It's 600
It's too blockbuster.
I love all of it.
But poor Bessent is probably just at his wit's end.
What do you mean poor Bessent? He's got more power than anyone in the
And
world.
he's rich as
I
shit.
know, but this guy every day is juggling like tariffs and just I don't know, dude.
You know what's
I'm just trying to do what the
interesting?
big guy's
In,
telling me.
Other parts of the world, they call it tariffs because this is an Arab word.
I like Tarif.
Can we
Factory.
get an update?
I'm okay
Obviously,
with switching.
Drama and I hung out last night and watched the UFC fight. America lost.
America lost.
Who lost?
America.
But Trump's hotter than ever.
What? Who is? I don't even know.
Sean O'Malley versus a guy from Georgia, not America, Georgia. And he just got the shit kicked out of him. But he came out to like, God Bless America or something. And Trump was there. But Trump, I mean,
every fighter,
single fighter jumps the cage, asks for a picture, signs autograph.
You know what's interesting is, and I'll quickly jump to this, and I'm sure we'll touch on it more. But obviously, right now, so on Friday, I got a message with someone I'm supposed to meet. Hey, my neighbor, ICE is shutting down my neighbor right now. I can't meet with you today in Vernon, and which is basically downtown LA. And I was like, oh, everything okay? He's like, it's just a little bit chaotic. I'll call you later. Doesn't call me. End up watching the news, Twitter, all this shit. See that there's like this absolute chaos in downtown LA, that ICE was doing a raid in a warehouse, and then the owner of that warehouse locked ICE in, and it became a whole thing. It became like a chaotic situation.
Right.
Fast forward, over the weekend, a lot of shit happened. Crazy destruction of property, violence, protest. Then Trump puts the National Guard. Like, it's chaos, complete chaos in a very small part of town, because I was all over LA today. No one even knew what was going on.
Not a peep.
What?
Not a peep.
So I'm saying all this because this smells like 2020 BLM.
It does have a lot. I saw
fake
some
news.
I saw some videos of some bricks left out.
Yes, and
you know what's funny is they talked about one car getting burned in the riots or whatever. Or it's not riots, protests, I want to say.
Well, it's
listen, liberal.
It's right. You destroy property, it's a riot.
Mostly peaceful.
When the Lakers won the first title,
that was a riot
in 2000.
Right. They rioted.
They burned 2 cop cars.
Rioted.
That was a riot.
Josh said he saw 6 burnt cop cars to the tires.
Yeah, I just seen a video like 2 hours ago.
But anyways, the National Guard should not have been there.
No, that's beyond the point. The point is that when you look at this situation, what's happening right now is, I'm going to say something differently. If you are an illegal immigrant, the most famous picture of the weekend was the guy on the burnt car with the Mexican flag. If I'm an illegal immigrant, you think I'm fucking showing up to that shit with a Mexican flag?
I don't feel like those people are illegal immigrants.
Exactly.
You're right.
I think it's all bullshit.
That's your point.
I don't think it's real.
Well, I would say it's definitely
what do you mean it's not real? Sorry, I'm not following.
I think there was agitators hired to cause chaos. Think about the social media. We know now during 2020, 100% foreign adversaries were pushing content to cause division.
Yes.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
Not a fact. That's true.
No, it is a fact. Sorry.
They came up, they smelled today and was like,
yeah,
what a great day to do this. Because guess what? It's, everyone loves immigrants in America. Now they're getting deported and blah,
you can
blah,
show that Trump's America is chaotic.
Yes. And then guess what's going to happen? And this is where it gets really interesting is in LA, people are very sensitive to immigration, and especially Mexican immigration, because they're so part of the fabric of the city. Very different than any other city. And I would maybe parts of Texas, Florida, things like that. In the middle of the country, though, that's not going to play well. The flag waving, the Mexican flag over a burnt cop car. That's the worst thing that could happen to the Democrats. You don't want that to happen.
Or to Mexicans.
I think, think about it. To me, this whole thing is a fabricated situation that created by foreign adversaries to like cause chaos.
I mean, I don't trust any protest or riot now.
Yeah, now people closing down a 101. If you're an illegal immigrant, are you going to Union Station, walking down the fucking freeway exit? Absolutely not.
No, like I think to your point, it seems fabricated because our own H-1B cousins are afraid to leave their house.
Right.
And they're like legally here.
Well, look, the argument
are a little bit of pussies.
Well, there's a lot of that going on. Yeah.
Compared to Mexicans, Indians are.
I mean, the hospitality industry in Los Angeles would collapse if you deport all these people.
And that's my point.
But apparently, look, I don't want to get involved in like the debate just for the sake of fucking my DMs, but like they're claiming that like they're getting very specific, like high
value targets.
High value targets. Like they're not just like. But is that true? Or
no. But here's
they're not walking into Delilah and like, let me see the kitchen.
No, they are going to schools. They're going to.
But aren't they looking for specific
people? They're going after So I'm going to give you the example.
I think they have names that they're going after.
The Maryland father that caused
Abrego.
Yes. Okay. Who had got deported to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Is bringing back to America.
Yep.
And he's getting tried because he did smuggling, trafficking. He's a bad hombre.
That's actually, I feel like the Democrats shouldn't have let that happen.
What?
The Democrats, I feel like, shouldn't have actually let that happen because now it's going to come out what he actually said.
That's the problem is that like, what if you look at the absolute numbers that Obama and Biden and all these people deported, Trump's actually a little behind.
Right.
Yeah. He's behind schedule.
They've always been so tough on it.
If he's going to do it, he should get a big scooper on the 101 today and fucking get everyone out because
right.
But I'm saying like he's not even deporting at the pace of Obama, not even close.
Yeah.
So I think all of this is fake news. It's bullshit.
I would probably agree with you.
You're probably right.
I think that it makes it look chaotic.
Say, so I have a very close childhood friend, Tyler Millot, who listens to the pod.
Got deported?
No, he's a white guy.
Well,
send him.
Back to the Caucasus.
He's a special needs teacher at LAOC school in Gardena.
Get him out.
And he said they had to have a conference in the school about ICE showing up. Like, what do you do if ICE just storms your classroom?
But my honest question, this isn't an accusation. My question is that a reality or are they going after specific people?
They have done it, yes.
I know, but but even the Indian,
but not just to get a specific person.
No,
they're going and saying, "Hey, anyone here?"
I actually had a conversation with them. This is what they're doing.
But I want to know someone that actually, who was a law-abiding citizen. I know that the news will portray Maryland father was this stand-up guy. Right. It turns out he was trafficking.
No,
people.
So what they did in the LAUSD, this actually happened. Mm-hmm. They went to a school and the administration basically said, you can't come in. ICE came in. And then my friend who had the conference with his school said what they're trying to do, the kids are legal, right?
Yeah,
they were born here. And they're basically holding them ransom so that the parents just take them and leave.
I would just this isn't against you or your friend. I would have to hear that from someone who was there.
Like, I just don't. Feeding.
I don't believe the same way people are scared.
Why is he getting lectured about it?
Because it's fear. The same way people are scared to get parking tickets.
You remember in 2020, we were getting lectured about everything: fucking mass vaccines, racism, fucking everything. Right? Everything we were taught as human beings was wrong. And it's happening again.
But also, not only that, it's the people that like. I mean, look, I talked to
the protests fake, right?
Yes.
Fishy. Yeah, fishy. I mean, and look, I want to be very clear.
Saying, like, I know a ton of illegal immigrants personally.
So do I.
None of them went to the fucking protest.
Hell no.
Because it would be the dumbest shit to do.
None of those people
go to a fucking protest where they're arresting illegal immigrants.
Yeah. So I think what we can count on is no one at the protest is an illegal immigrant.
No, it's fake. They were hired. They were paid.
It's either real support.
You know, like, to your point, to be honest, if you like go by any of these fancy hotels or even a hospital, those are all paid protesters.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not like.
I think the Tesla thing probably was too. But that's why this one thing I don't get is if you're a Republican or you're Kash Patel, my number one priority would be proving that those are fake.
That's very hard to prove because it's.
But don't you arrest a couple of people fresh off a Greyhound and they're like, look, dude, I got fucking paid.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go to jail.
The thing is I think it's too scary to reveal that like the guy holding the Mexican flag who on top of the burnt car is actually like a paid agent from.
But their number one priority.
I think if you share that with the American people, Like, you can't handle the truth.
Did you?
But their number one thing that they're doing right now is just trying to prove or show or disclose that that's what happened on January 6th.
Did you listen to Cash Patel?
Trump.
Right, but so does this.
What?
So does this.
I think this helps Trump. I'm just gonna be honest. I think.
Well, yeah,
I think
right.
the
But if you could
like
prove-
the fact that like a 7-Eleven on 3rd and Gardner next to Pan Pacific Park got ransacked yesterday with 100 people.
I've been there.
Really, that one
bunch.
did?
Yeah, means
Got a lot of
to
flaming
me,
hot Cheetos
that is, which is a very scary 7-Eleven, by the way, because I go to with my kids there every weekend. Just like the situation around it is very scary with little kids.
Really? Even there by the Grove?
Yeah, very scary.
Did you listen to Cash Patel?
Well, hold on.
Or sorry, finish your point.
My
Sorry.
point is that the narrative for the Trump agenda, unfortunately, if you don't like him, looks really, really good with what's happening in LA today and yesterday. I don't think that hurts him. I think it helps him. And I think...
But don't you think it just helps him with the people that like him and hurts him with the people who don't? You don't think anyone's getting their mind changed because of this, right?
I think if you see like... So protesting is fine.
Yeah.
Ransacking a 7-Eleven.
Right.
Burning cop cars.
Burning regular civilian,
Hurting
innocent
cops.
people cars, yeah.
Like people throwing bricks at cop cars.
But you think that's staged?
I think it's all staged. I don't think an illegal immigrant
agitated.
is doing that shit. There's no way. I know so many. My whole fucking life, I've known illegal immigrants. They're law-abiding citizens. There's the 1% that have caused problems, which I agree, and they should be deported. I 100% agree with that.
Right.
I think the law-abiding illegal immigrants in this country that work, that pay taxes and are good kind of participating citizens, to tell them that they're out there protesting, fucking throwing bricks at cops, fuck no. There's no chance.
So the only believable story would be none of those people are illegal immigrants. They are all just so passionately supportive because their friends and families are.
No. You're not risking all that shit for friends and family.
I agree. Or I think it's
You're
getting
risking
amped
it
up.
for a bag.
I think it's getting amped up by. I think they know how to amp it up. But I don't think the thing that you said that I don't think it's Russia. I think it's internal.
No,
That's what we did.
I think Russia, China, you pick the country.
Get
the
him
chaos
excited
is
about
good.
it. Get him excited about it.
Yeah.
But we did it on January 6th.
What?
We did it on January 6th.
Who knows if that was manipulated internally by those organizations?
That was like FBI fucking agents.
I just think it's pretty easy. If you look at like a place like X is all like anonymous accounts that are like, oh yeah, these fucking Mexicans or blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh my God, they're deporting everyone.
Right.
It's so polarizing.
What's the end goal?
Right.
Just to
chaos.
Yeah.
It happened in 2020. America in 2020 was complete chaos until we started handing out checks and everyone got themselves a Birkin, a new car, a new watch, new shit. Then everyone was happy and we all forgot about
a Urus. Everyone got a Urus.
Everyone got a Urus.
Yeah.
Like 1/3 of this country was driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And then we forgot about racism, fucking forgot about everything.
Yeah. 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 I would say it has, I don't know. Look, if anyone has any, even like, I want to be really sensitive with I know people are legitimately scared, like this school person and stuff like that. If anyone has any stories.
And I've gotten a lot of DMs of people that are scared. I'm here to tell you that I believe the administration's purpose is to weed out people that are criminals. And is there a chance that a completely perfectly law-abiding person gets swept up in it? 100%. I agree. There will be collateral damage, which is fucking horrible.
Right.
But for the most part, put it like this. If you live in Los Angeles and you are an illegal immigrant, I beg you to not go to the protest.
No, you don't got to tell them.
No,
they're not fucking going.
Like, if you're so like passionate about it, create a fake bot account, post your videos, post whatever you do. Do not go on the 101.
They're not.
Which is happening right now, shutting down the fucking freeway.
Everybody there has a California ID.
Exactly.
There's not. Or maybe a Russian one, but not. What were you saying, Anand?
No, I mean, I think the thing that is true, ICE is definitely going after people, right? It's undeniable.
Yes,
Undeniable.
but they've always done that. That's
but
fine.
it seems like they're targeting non-criminals.
But
Well,
seems
they're
like,
not.
but we don't know. That's the only thing.
They want you to believe that.
All I'm asking for, just for me, is like the truth.
But he's saying the protests are all paid for.
They're fake.
Well, I think there might be agitators, but you don't think so? You agreed.
Do you think illegal immigrants are protesting?
It wouldn't be smart.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do you think that there's a chance?
Are you insinuating illegal immigrants are dumb?
No.
Okay. So do you think that there's a chance?
But they're going to like schools.
But
They're
we
going
don't
to
know.
like
And that's all hearsay.
I know. I just need to. I need to know.
Does Tyler know anyone that is a law-abiding illegal immigrant that's getting deported? I want a fucking name.
Well, if there was a name, they wouldn't have chosen Abrego Garcia.
No,
you would have chosen the guy,
The guy that was like a
who's a
law-abiding
fucking preschool
Tyler's
teacher.
story is that they went to 2 schools in LA. And the people at the front, schools are pretty secure,
Right.
public and private. And they just told the ICE agents, like, you're not coming in.
Right.
Okay, but did they take anyone?
They didn't take anyone.
And
Okay, so
also,
what
were
is
they
the
looking for
scare?
someone specific, or were they just going to get everyone on the floor and say, "Show me your IDs," or you're
No,
out?
what they wanted, what he told me is that they want to get the kids who are legal.
If that happened once, it would be front page of CNN forever.
I think the schools are good.
What?
You've been, I know you don't have kids, but Dee knows how hard it is to get into schools.
But dude, you didn't go on the weekend to baseball practice. If you held one kid for ransom, it would be everywhere.
Yeah.
So I want to be so careful that I'm not sounding insensitive. I'm just sick of like people being fed like these really scary stories that like, just show me that it's happening. And then I'll be with you and say, yeah, that's fucked up. You're holding fucking kids for ransom. So their parents have to come get them and you can arrest them.
The freaking school.
I know, but
told
I
them.
wouldn't be surprised if a school like
I'm gonna give you another
superintendent
perspective.
warned
My
them.
friend Lynn is here. He lives in Florida. What are you hearing in
she's
Florida?
not a peep.
I am now scared. You guys living in a war zone here. I don't know what I'm doing. You're Chinese. Yeah.
He doesn't have a care in the world.
I'll say I didn't think much of it, but I just had a talk with like one of our senior people in the company, and he's a permanent green card holder. And he says he's not leaving the country this summer because he heard stories and he's supposedly seeing YouTube videos of people,
YouTube.
permanent green card holders coming back in, getting pulled out of the line and asked to voluntarily give up, like sign some document to give up their green card.
Right.
Then I was like, do you know anybody that like, that actually got that treatment? And he's like, no, like nobody. Right.
That's what I'm
Let me
saying.
tell you,
It could
when
be
I
somebody.
landed back from China and I went through global entry, welcome back to America.
Yeah, they
And I was
saluted
like,
you.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Did you see
USA.
Drama? Did you see Dee's tweet? He questioned if I was a citizen.
Yeah,
What did you do?
I did.
What did you say?
We were talking about you got to pick a side, Elon or Trump.
Yeah.
And then he just retweeted and said, "Are you a citizen?"
That was my way to get a hold of ICE.
Yeah, they have a.
I told her,
If
I
it's
showed-
true,
Google
I
alert.
should be all over your house.
Yeah.
I showed my mom the tweet. She's like, "I have the data. You were born here."
Yeah, they should have Viv held for ransom. It sounds like. Come get
See,
him,
it
Anand.
worked. You got to get the paperwork now.
Yeah, I know that people are going to be probably mad about this, but
100%.
the thing that I hate the most is just when our fear is used against us, and I feel like
and the
that's
reason
so.
why-
So do you think this is COVID fear
This,
for immigrants?
yes,
Not American citizens.
100%.
Or like Russiagate, or like, frankly, I hate, once again, I don't want to get fucking in trouble, but like January 6th, or like all these things that are like,
I mean, two people died.
Of
course,
Well, one
but
of
it
them
was
was
chaos.
a Trumper, but they tried to compare January 6th in a lot of statements to like 9/11. And like, I'm just saying that like, I have spoken to people that were scared to death look, I spoke to a friend who's a young woman, born in America, Black woman, was like, oh, now I'm going to get rounded up and sent to a camp. And I'm like, dude.
Dee's trying to get me to El Salvador.
Well, yeah, he'll get you out of here if he gets a chance. But I'm just saying the fact that people are like living
You
with
gotta
that
go. You gotta
fear.
go. If you committed a crime,
I don't
Right.
commit crimes.
Did you?
I don't know. Last night, I saw him last night. He had a couple of drinks. But I that's more what I empathize with is the people that are being driven insane by the media when like that's just not what's happening.
Here's the
if
thing.
That's not what's happening.
At the end of the day, the reason why I'm not afraid of Trump on this particular policy, all he cares about is money. It's not good for business. It's just not.
No, and you can listen to Tom Homan explain it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not lying. I'm not saying maybe there's not something fucked up going on here. I'd love to learn about it, but they're pretty clear about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're saying we are going after people with criminal records.
Yeah.
Here's what they've done: sexual assault, second-degree murder.
Yeah.
And I just tell me the story of the man or woman.
Here's the problem. When you get like, take a male, 45-year-old male committing crimes, murder, sexual assault, DUIs. Does he have a family? Yes. Does he have a wife? Does he have kids who are going to be collateral damage to this situation?
Right.
That's true. That's happening. Unfortunately for that family, they're all a victim of daddy's issues.
Right.
And I think that is what's happening. And it gets a little, I mean, look, and I actually believe there are situations that were like people wrongfully were deported. And I think there will be a place to rectify those situations. Because even the stand-up Maryland father, he got brought back to America.
Right.
But
the biggest red flag to me is, and I don't know what this guy did, but I know there's a lot of questions. And like, why are you picking that guy to be your poster child?
Because
right.
Your point is that there's not.
Right.
If you think this is all staged, right? The protests.
Yeah.
Agitated.
I think it was agitated. I think there was real protest. And I think agitators, I don't think.
But then we're spending taxpayer money to send 2,000 National Guardsmen.
Yes.
To show up.
Yeah.
Which is like tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Because I think that the two groups that are doing each thing aren't connected.
But they want it. They want that.
Like one person wants disruption. Another person has to shut it down and show strength, law and order. Another person.
Yeah. And
we spend taxpayer dollars on way dumber shit.
Yeah, of course.
And the issue is just look at it from a news standpoint. People are texting me, "Are you safe?" I'm like, I don't know, man. I was at a baseball park all day, and it was
I know my poor
fine.
mom, man.
Then we went to dinner, completely fine.
Yeah,
it's like 4 blocks in downtown LA, which is basically desolate.
Yeah, you know what's
no one gives a shit about. And
so
just whatever.
So one of my closest friends, Ankit, who you know, he lives in Bombay, India.
Mm-hmm.
We caught up the other day, and he thinks we're just literally in chaos.
Yeah, so does my mom and
yeah. I mean, if you watched,
he's like,
if you see the news,
he's like, "Are you okay?
Yeah,
what's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm fine."
Yeah.
But if you drove on the 101 through Union Station, you could say it's a war zone,
right?
And you wouldn't be wrong.
He's like, "What's going on there?" But
the other fishy thing is like, it is such a small area, but for the whole country, it looks like LA is on fire.
Yeah.
So for the sake of the agitation theory, it's really effective.
Yeah, because I'm getting calls.
Yeah. If your goal is to make it look chaotic,
my point.
Yeah.
It makes America look chaotic and weak, which is what they want.
And the Elon Trump thing, he was like, "What's going on with your country?"
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Because it's so high profile, right? It's the richest man in the world.
And the most powerful person.
Most powerful man in the world. And they are fighting like little
on
bitches.
Twitter.
I know. It's like, I'm such an Elon supporter, but this one, he's just a fucking
Wait,
idiot.
he backed off.
He
right,
backed
but like
off
you
a
can't
bit,
like
but he won't fully.
You can't go full Epstein.
I don't think.
I think
he pulled the Epstein. Once you go Epstein,
did you listen to Cash Patel Rogan?
It was a miss.
Yeah. What?
Cash Patel Rogan?
No. Man, we talked about it last night. I'm gonna listen to it.
Oh, you haven't listened?
No.
I thought you listened to it today.
No.
They brought it up in the middle of the pod because it was live. It was breaking news.
I didn't see it, but yeah.
And Cash Patel just like stepped back. It was like,
I'm not into that. Yeah. Kashyap.
Yeah.
He's actually very smart.
Obviously. He's Indian.
Anand's turning. Anand's a supporter.
No, I actually thought he didn't do the MAGA Trump thing. He actually
he didn't get that job because he's
he's a government employee for the last like 16 years.
But he's like a clearly he went through the ranks because he's good at his job. It didn't go through the ranks because his family controls.
Some of the things he said on the pod, which I had no idea that like a Chinese person infiltrated an organization, and
It's called Harvard.
And Google.
and they basically were like trying to infect the agricultural supply of
Or they
America.
caught him, right? With fungus or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hurts fertility, creates cancer risk.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I read about that. Yeah.
You don't need them to do it. I mean, just fucking Pfizer's got it covered.
we got American companies
Between
doing that.
Kellogg's and fucking.
there's a lot of things that I'd never heard about that he brought up. And I was like, oh shit.
It's got to be
There's
nuts.
like crazy shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
My main thing is I just think that the media, it's such a payday for the media. And I think it's such an incentive for either internal enemies of Trump or other countries to just, like you said, make it seem chaotic. And I just wish, I think a lot of people are getting really wrapped into this shit.
Yeah.
And I think they're being manipulated.
I'm speaking from someone that got manipulated in 2020.
Same. 2016. No.
For me, it was 2020.
Oh, really? But 2016, you didn't feel like the world was ending?
I was, that election night, I felt the world was ending. And then when he did his first press conference, it was so funny. I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
2020 was when I felt, that was the first time in my life I was like
You felt like Biden had to win?
No, he's talking about COVID
I'm
shit.
talking about COVID. I'm talking about BLM. I'm talking about that era is when I
guess I got duped in 2016 and 2020.
BLM, fucking everything. I got fucking manipulated like a dumb fucking motherfucker.
Yeah, me too. But I got it in 2016 too. I got double dose. I had 8 hours.
You know, the thing. So if you think you got duped, Drama, me and you both listened to Rogan. We heard every counterpart to everything that was going on in 2020.
That's true, but I'm trying to honestly think about why
like
or what I
Alex
thought.
Brennanson. What's that guy's name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name. I think that
And then that Indian doctor from Stanford.
Yeah, but I think that for me, I think two things. I think number one, that all started happening like a little bit after, like that didn't kick in until however long after the initial COVID panic, like the lockdown and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was like a year or 9 months of like just panic. And then I think that, to be honest with you, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the like mainstream message was so strong that I even kind of felt like, yeah, okay, like it's an interesting take on Rogan, but I'm not going to live by this random guy that just got pulled off of fucking every platform. Like maybe he is the nutcase.
Right. And it's interesting during this whole time, because I heard the Rogan anti-vaccine, like this is like a nothing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the All In guys, which I listened to, they started March in 2020. And now they're like completely switched. Right. But during then, I was like, oh, these are like some of the smartest guys in the world. And they're saying, just put a handkerchief on your face.
Right.
Get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And they all got vaxxed and they did
That's
all
how
that.
good the Russians are.
I mean, look, I remember, this is something I remember for some reason specifically, is I called our friend, I don't know if I should say his name, he's your guy's friend for a long time since kids, who's a thoracic surgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you think about this and the vaccine and the whatever? And he's like, oh, like 100% get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Totally safe. And also got to get it. This COVID shit's, and like, he's the smartest person I know.
Yeah.
And there was no skepticism.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him at all, but I'm just saying, like, who were you going to trust?
Yeah.
Even at the time, it's not like I was really trusting some dude on Rogan. It just turned out that as it aged, I was like, fuck, that dude on Rogan was right. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But I will say, I mean, jets did fall off a cliff after the vaccine got rolled out. So I'm going to stand on that hill. But I want to point out something. I was at dinner with some high school friends. Very close friend. He's a cardiologist, very successful cardiologist.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, what do you do for workouts? Da-da-da. I was like telling him what I do. And I was like, I sauna, cold plunge. And he's like, why do you do that?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. The data seems like
It lowers inflammation. That's why you do it.
I was like, the
Very
data
clear.
seems like
But doctor,
it's clear.
you understand?
And,
like,
and then I told him, I was like, you know too much about. He's like, there's no studies. I was like, there are studies.
I know, but that's why doctors, like, if I got diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, God forbid, I would go to a doctor, traditional science doctor. I would get their feedback on what to do, and then I would hit a Joe Rogan episode.
Gary Brecka,
with Mel
Huberman,
Gibson, and I'm taking
Peter Attia.
I'm vegan.
Right.
I'm getting sunlight, and I'm taking ivermectin because I'm not fucking banking on the fact that some cancer drug is going to save my life.
Like, no, we actually have a new pill. It's called Sunlight.
I mean, it's called sunlight. You take 6 of these. You take 6 of these.
I mean, that's the problem with ESPN. Like, I watch it every morning. Like, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. It's just pharmaceutical drugs.
Bro, I was going to say that. Like, now that I'm watching the finals and golf, and like, I'm not kidding you. This is a weird thing I do. I mute my TV during the commercials because it's so depressing. Yeah. It's like fucking, Halliburton for 3. And then it's like, suicide. Are you going to die? Do you want cancer? Like, fucking what?
And that's why RFK has been trying to ban pharmaceutical commercials. And it's the right thing to do.
No, that's the right thing.
100%. I also want to say one complaint, but I don't want to get into a vaccine debate. But my one complaint is on all those commercials, they have to list all that, right? Imagine if at the end of those commercials, they were able to just say 100% safe and effective. And you're like, oh, and then you found out like, but aren't some people like having some, it's like, oh, you were allowed to just lie and not look at that. That's my biggest, like, at least they have to say, hey, you're going to bleed out of your eyeballs and
you're
be
gonna
depressed.
Suicide.
Yeah. If you want to lose a few pounds.
Hey, you're going to lose
every commercial on First Take is, I literally hear depression and suicide.
Yeah, that's why I mute it. I'm like, I don't want to hear that over and over throughout the day. I mean, what effect does that have on you just hearing that 50 times a day?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We've talked about this at length, but why are you targeting the patient? You should be targeting the doctor.
Right.
They do that too, don't worry.
Yeah, they do.
They have hot girls that are pharmaceutical sales reps.
But I also think that what's a dream?
What do you think your cardiologist is like?
Yeah, for sure.
Go punch.
Yeah, right.
I got a pill for that.
Stephanie doesn't believe in that.
If they play those commercial enough and you're like, oh, maybe I am depressed, right?
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what I was going to say. I think the dream scenario is you walk into your doctor and you say, hey, I think I have blah, blah, blah. And I saw that there's a drug for it. And they're like, oh, we carry that.
And then you take it and then you watch the commercial and it says you could cause depression. You're like, I'm depressed. Oh, we got another drug for that.
Yeah.
It's called Zoloft.
I will never forget when it was really in like the height. I don't know the numbers today, but like the height of the opioid crisis, there started being commercials for opioid related constipation. Here's a pill.
Because you take opioids.
You're constipated.
You're addicted to opioids. You're now constipated, which is one of the side effects. And so now the commercials were, oh, do you suffer from opioid-induced constipation? Here's a drug for that. And it's like, fuck.
I don't understand why rappers love opioids if you're constipated.
Well,
because I know that's a real effect.
I think you just got to pay the price to feel like $1 million. You know what I mean? They're just down for.
I
was like, if you're a rapper,
shit.
I mean, every drug
you
has
can't shit and you can't have sex.
Every drug has even alcohol has side effects, but you just.
I mean, these are two big ones.
What?
You can't shit and you can't have sex.
Yeah, but I think that, look, who knows? We have to really talk to like a real, but I think that.
Should we need to talk to like the baby?
I think you get used to it. I think you literally find a plug for the fucking, the constipation medicine.
Yeah.
And you start taking that. Like, I think people really addicted to drugs have some weird like habits and things that they'll
taking
do.
Metamucil.
Right.
To shit themselves.
Take two Tums with
Viagra to get back up.
Yeah. Right.
There's a pill for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah,
AI?
AI for what?
I want to say something. I think probably the single greatest and most prophetic joke that one of you has ever said on this podcast that I think deserves huge recognition.
No.
Is whatever the joke was about AI standing for like actually Indians.
Said that, yeah.
Yes. because there's that other company that got popped the other day for having like and it's literally
it's funny because I go back to I talk the way I talk because I know too much.
Right.
I know too much is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I came out of 2020 realizing how much shit is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then when the AI thing starts happening, I'm building a business and I'm using AI. Yeah. And I can't do what all these people are saying
I know
that you could do.
Right.
I'm sure you're trying.
Yeah.
You know what I could do? I want a story for Dominic and Miles about baseball. Yeah, great. ChatGPT is great for that.
Yep.
It is a fucking story app at best.
Did you see
That's all it
Apple's
is.
post today?
Who?
Apple.
No.
Apple posted basically saying it's all bullshit.
It's all fake.
He's like, Apple basically.
Who is he?
Yeah,
Tim Apple?
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple posted.
Did Tim Apple post it or did Apple post it?
Apple posted it saying that.
But Tim Apple.
That they're, you think you can have this reasoning machine and it's not there yet.
It's just a bunch of Indians.
That's what he said.
They're moving fast.
But I will say they got to play the game.
They're fast figured.
Yeah.
But
they need more
two
Indians.
things are true.
They need a bigger
They've
warehouse.
solved a lot, but they haven't solved everything.
They've solved.
I just think they've solved a fraction of what people talk about that it's solved.
They've solved stories and jokes
it's from
and
Apple's
raps.
like account.
Well, but Apple has a launch event tomorrow, and they probably have a subpar AI offering.
Maybe.
And so they're getting ahead of it.
They're getting ahead of it.
Which is also not good.
Hey, Siri, what's the score of Spain versus Portugal?
I will say, though,
Bore of
I
pain?
see, I don't know if you guys, in my text threads, I do see sent by Siri a lot.
Yeah, but I've always seen that.
But I've always seen
My dad's done that
I
for
didn't-
years.
No, that's been years.
Okay.
Andy Pfaff has been ripping those text messages
A
through
lot
Siri
of people's
for
voice
years.
to Siri.
But yes, I think the point is that other company, I forget what it is, got busted the other day for
Was it Builder AI? Is that the name of the company?
forget.
What did you say?
Hey, Siri, shut up, you fraud.
Oh, the overlords, dude. They know.
Apple knew.
Hey, Siri, you know Tim Apple? Let's see. Okay, here we go. They don't know.
But anyway, I guess in some more, optimistic news, Meta is just going to go ham on warehouses
I'm
full of
so
Indians.
impressed with this.
They're gonna spend $10
I'm so
billion
impressed with this, by the way, because Scale AI, if this is real.
Hold on, let me tell a story. It is a rumor on Bloomberg and the information last night that Meta, which if you don't know what Meta is, it's not an Indian company. It's Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, wants to invest $10 billion in Scale AI, which, by the way, no one in the world knows what the fuck they do.
What do they do?
Nobody knows.
Wait,
They scale
no, I
AI.
think
They have warehouses.
You know what they do?
I think they have a bunch of Indians to verify
they
the
scale
data.
Indians.
Southeast Asians.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Southeast
Asians.
They have a bunch of
They have a bunch of
humans
Southeast Asians.
to
I know this is real.
verify
Is he joking?
the
No, he's
data
not joking.
input for, because I know like two of the people that like original like employees that left to build different versions to compete with Scale AI. So they basically have factories of people
So it's what we're joking
to
about.
basically verify
Asian intelligence.
if
Right,
like the data input, like, right? Because like you just throw a bunch of data at AI, they don't. You had to like label
bamboozled?
it. You had to
Yeah, I
label
think
the
he
data.
did.
I
And
think
like,
Zuck got
look,
caught
like
with
here
the
we are
sex
paying for
scandal.
people again.
I know this could be sensitive, but I'll tell this story.
Yeah,
So the founder, Alexander Wang, is his name, not the
that's a hot
fashion guy.
name.
Yeah.
Not the fashion guy.
Yeah.
The LA Super Bowl. We were at the Hwood party. Bieber was performing. He came by and he realized like we have like common friends.
Mhm.
And you guys could take this out if it's too ridiculous, but
I love ridiculous.
and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing down here?" And he was like 26 at the time.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Oh, I was told that the richest and most powerful people come to Super Bowl weekend."
They do.
And he's like, "I'm wearing the hoodie and I'm playing the part."
What's the hoodie?
Just a random hoodie, t-shirt,
Was it a hot brand?
Oh,
No,
the look. You mean just
the
the
look.
silica this?
the Zuck look,
Right.
right? The old school Zuck look. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wear this outfit and meet everyone.
He's
And
the
I'm
founder
like
of
the-
Scale AI.
He's the founder and CEO.
Well, so it works. He got his money.
He got his money. He got $10 billion.
Yeah.
Meta's gonna give him $10 billion
Just from a hoodie.
Yep. And we're saying AI is killing jobs. This guy's fucking just doing nothing but hiring people.
People don't realize the jobs are there. It's just in Southeast Asia.
But how
This might be a
amazing.
job boom. You're just looking for more and more people
but
to
I
keep up
think
the
call me
charade.
Steve
I think for
Jobs.
founders, it's like important. He's literally like reverse engineering how to become a successful founder. He's
Wear
like,
the hoodie.
oh, I'm in tech, wear the hoodie,
Yep.
look like kind of the,
You can't wear those Zuck hoodies. Those Zuck hoodies suck.
I mean, he was at
Suck hoodies.
Hwood Stable with Bieber performing.
There's no way those guys know who he was.
No chance.
No.
I was the only one who knew who he was.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, they're going big. We know Zuck likes to go big. He went big on the metaverse.
You
He
think
goes
he
big
got
on Oculus.
captivated by the hoodie?
He might be mesmerized by the hoodie.
This feels like blackmail. Nobody knows what Scale AI does.
But don't you also think that like you're kind of
No, I don't.
rewarded by your shareholders?
I've never heard
to
anyone
show,
tell me what Scale AI does.
I mean,
The real answer.
look at CoreWeave.
No,
We don't
maybe-
know what CoreWeave
maybe
is.
Zuck knows
CoreWeave
something.
was a complete, I said, a complete fucking scam.
But the stock's on fire.
This went IP at 41. It's at $120. I saw the CEO speak. Unbelievable CEO. That guy, great CEO.
Better than Databricks?
Yes, because he's humble. Databricks CEO is a very arrogant guy. This guy,
I don't know either of them.
CoreWeave, nobody knows. He's like, oh yeah, AI, blah blah blah, computers, whatever.
Right.
Like, fucking, the stock's up 300%.
But don't you think too, if you're Zuck, like there's just some pressure. It kind of sounds like a joke.
You
but I
have to
don't.
do AI. Yeah,
Yeah. You have to
I
be
agree.
making
I agree
big
with you.
investments in AI.
So, like, I won't
and
share.
just show that you did it.
I won't share too much of what. So, Drum and I hung out for like 3-4 hours last night watching the UFC fight
You
at our
guys have
friend's house.
sex.
I hate that you say it
Why
like
don't you
that.
share too
You make
much?
it
It's
sound so
fucking weird.
intimate. It wasn't just us, for the record.
But anyways, he was explaining me kind of how Target and Walmart and all the brands that exist there. And it's so basic.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to basically make them more functional.
Right.
And like you were at conferences and you're like, oh my God, these guys are all fucking morons. It's kind of like how I talk about HVAC.
Well, listen,
like-
I didn't say that. Okay, I don't
Okay,
think everyone's.
Whoa,
moron.
relax, Mr. Target.
But no, the
Mr.
thing,
Mart.
I think to your point though, I think to some,
Forget CoreWeave. Like,
but I think to some degree, like the deeper you go in any business, you realize that it's the simplest things that are making the money.
Yeah, it's always
Like all the shit that seems crazy is like, yeah, but that's not really where the money's actually coming from. I feel like that's a common finding. Like, you know,
I
Meta
agree.
might be metaverse and Oculus, but it's fucking ads.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like any business, I'll give you a business that every one of our listeners can kind of relate to.
Mhm.
If they live on the West Coast, is In-N-Out.
Great business.
When you go to In-N-Out and you look at the line and you look at probably per unit revenue is higher than any other restaurant in the world, you'd be like, oh, that's so simple.
Yeah.
But no one's ever replicated it.
Right.
They're in a league of their own, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar company. I would argue In-N-Out is priceless.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
if Meta is
Like
investing,
if you went to any In-N-Out in Southern California today, there'd
no,
be a
in the
line.
world, it's the lines out the.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's Hollywood,
Yeah,
Westwood.
if Scale AI is getting a Meta investment of $10 billion, PepsiCo and McDonald's should be giving $100 billion to In-N-Out.
well,
Right.
I think I think
So my point is more about simple focus execution is extremely valuable. And that's very underestimated. Everyone tries to get too cute, but at the end of the day, like they make their 6 items on their menu. The menu is small, by the way, in In-N-Out. If you've never been in In-N-Out, it says burger, French fries,
Yeah.
soft drink,
Milkshake.
milkshake.
Right.
And
See you
that's it.
later. Which one do you want?
what I kind of glean
By
from
the way, my family eats at In-N-Out. We live quarter mile from In-N-Out.
Yeah.
We eat there once or twice a week.
how long's the wait?
I eat there
20
probably-
minutes.
I ate there once a week.
Drive through?
Drive through 20 minutes. 5 o'clock on like a Saturday, 20 minutes.
There's literally one on the way home from the gym, and as long as the line isn't down the fucking street, I stop probably once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week, it's not down the street.
Yeah.
So I will say I spent time with Mente and Risa this week. And just to tie the bow on the road conversation, they are split on my opinion.
Well, your opinion is stupid, so someone is desperately
One of them's
wrong.
stupid.
You heard it. We talked about it last night.
Yeah.
What'd you take from it?
Well, look, I want to be careful not to like jump too much into a different topic, but
So we're talking about Road, sold for $1 billion, Hailey Bieber, obviously made a fortune.
the problem is I think we got off the point. My point, and I think Dee's point, was like, it's the internet and this new frontier that allows businesses to launch and scale that quickly. And regardless of if she was dating Bieber or she was dating one of the Jonas Brothers or she was dating whatever, it's the internet that gives you that quick, like, brand penetration and not so much.
I'll admittedly say, Mente and Risa, who are the goats of consumer products, they lean towards you.
What do you know?
I
But I thought they were split. Who said the other way?
No, they said
Was there someone else in the house? Was there a ghost?
The party.
no. They were saying that she was part of the Kendall crew before Bieber, so she
Yeah.
was already an it
She
girl.
was cool. Stephen Baldwin's daughter, bro.
But also, if she wasn't
OG.
dating Bieber, she'd be dating whoever, name X other.
Yeah, she'd be
biggest
with
celebrity in the
Timothy
world.
Chalamet.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I literally said that
Yeah.
last night.
But that's like, do you credit her for that? I think you kind of have to.
You have to credit her because she's hot.
Right. She didn't just get swooped up out of obscurity by Justin Bieber, knight in shining
She was
armor.
famous before all this.
I know. That's what they told me.
Yeah.
They said she was already part of the crew.
Yeah.
Okay, we jumped topics. What?
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. So I want to talk about two other things. Lululemon.
Lululemon.
Is that a song?
Yeah.
What song?
I don't know, but it's
Nicki
hot on
Minaj?
TikTok. Lululemon.
That sounds like Nicki Minaj.
No.
Just because, like, it's not.
It's so good.
If you're talking about Lululemon, you're probably not relevant.
Oh, it's like a hot song, and all the TikTokers are singing it. Like if you played at a party,
reflecting the stock price.
if you played at a party, they all go Lululemon.
Let me hear who's the singer. What age?
Put some Lululemon on my butt.
Who's the Lululemon song?
I'm gonna find out.
So Lululemon reported earnings. Basically, profit revenue was fine, but they basically forward guidance was we don't have a handle on macro. Started blaming tariffs. I'm calling complete bullshit on tariffs.
Remember, sorry, real quick.
What?
Remember during COVID or whatever when supply chain was like on every earnings?
Tariffs is that new thing.
But I will say, yeah, keep going.
Alo Yoga and Viore are too hot.
That's
That's
true.
the reality of the Lululemon problem. Is I went to REI recently. The biggest section is Viore. Nordstrom, the biggest section is Viore. Alo doesn't do a lot of wholesale, but we know when you walk around LA, New York, all the young women wearing Alo.
Mhm.
Lululemon has they're facing a interesting point where they make incredible product. I still think Lululemon product is incredible, but marketing wise, Alo and Viore have caught up dramatically.
Yeah.
And they're the cool,
100%.
they're the cool young brands.
I will say, I mean, our daughter goes to a private school. Every mom's an Aloe.
Alo, yeah.
The influencer guys wear Aloe too.
That was
Like it's
through
pretty big.
TikTok, right?
I don't know, but I see all the fucking
Yeah.
Because they all wore the Aloe hat.
Yeah. So
Right?
so I would say 35 plus males. Viore is now Viore's the outfit. Every meeting I'm in, every guy I'm meeting with, I'm meeting obviously predominantly with whites.
Here we are.
Yeah. Everyone's wearing Viore.
Yep, I'm covered in it.
100% of white people wear Viore.
Yeah. You get a package. They say, "Hey,
Yeah,
whites,
like
You're white.
when you're 35 and you're white, they
Yeah.
send Viore sends
when
you
you
a
turn
package.
35, the government, they say it's been a rough couple years, but
I
we're
want to
back."
actually
You know,
take it.
we know you really suffered in 2020.
Yeah.
So here's a discount.
Yeah.
20% off every 20 items you purchase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, is Brooks Brothers done?
No, Brooks Brothers hot.
Really?
It's fine.
Who's wearing it?
A lot of
I used to
people.
wear it when I was banking.
Yeah, the Brooks Brothers people are still wearing.
Interesting. So people are still wearing button-up shirts.
People are still getting dressed up. I would argue that there's like a segment of the workforce that is dressing up more than they did a few years ago. Obviously,
So when you meet with, like, you know, prospective investors or whomever, what do they dress like?
you know, button down shirt, maybe a vest. Investors,
Patagonia?
yes. But when I go to like Europe, they're in fucking suits.
Yeah.
Full on suits. No tie, but tailored suit. And I'm, you know, not.
But you go to New York, right?
Yeah.
Every other week or
Button down shirt, every meeting. Every meeting. 100% of my meetings are button down shirts.
That's what you wear or they wear?
They were.
he's not wearing a button down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel like you guys exclusively wore button-down shirts for like.
I still do if I go out, but I don't.
I
do
want
it
to
for,
wear.
Right.
I actually want to like mix it up and get really dressed up. But like, I got a little.
There's
fat,
no way you're
so
wearing
all
this-
my.
there's
my
no way
dressy
you're wearing
clothes
this-
got.
You're saying you want to, but you don't.
I want to.
There's no way you're wearing a sport coat.
I wouldn't wear a sports coat, but like I'd wear a cardigan, button-down shirt, like
Do
dress
the
up.
New York clubs require you for a sport coat or no?
I mean, nightclub. I'm not going
No,
to
no.
nightclub.
The
The members clubs.
yeah.
No. Oh no, Cipriani.
You have to wear what?
I wore one time. So Cipriani, if you wear a t-shirt, if you're like Leo or Toby, they let you in. Me, they make me wear their fucking size 44 fucking blazer and I look like a clown.
Oh, they give you the blazer.
Give you the blazer.
Ugh.
Then the guy was like, wear a fucking shirt, whatever. So the next time I go, I wear a shirt. But it was the dead of summer. I wore a short sleeve button down. It was like not even like a bright, but like a light, a black and white floral shirt. And it goes, Monsieur is too flowery.
Really?
Yeah. He made me wear the blazer again. I had a fucking short sleeve. He said it was too flowery. He had like too many flowers, Monsieur.
That's funny.
That's good.
I'm like, bro, is this an Italian place? When the fuck are you talking to me in French?
But so not to go all the way back, but did Lululemon say in their earnings call that tariffs?
Yes.
Right, too early.
It is too early.
Like you can't blame that.
No. Tariffs are for the next quarter.
Yeah.
All right, so I talked to Drama about this last night.
Well, let me just do this real quick. Sorry,
Go
I
for it.
just
You found the
searched
song?
high and low. I still don't know what it is.
You know the singer?
He want me bad, her hair done, can't get no coochie out the queen. Put some Lulu on his butt.
You don't know who sings this?
No, it's just everyone on TikTok.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get my Shazam out. Let's boomer this.
Oh yeah,
Play it
let's team
again.
up. Hold on. I have to research it.
Okay. This is real life boomer visions.
Hold on one sec.
Because we have to know what the song is if we're
it's
talking about
all
it.
over TikTok. There, I mean, you play
Megan
it.
Thee Stallion?
No.
No? Here we go. We're getting it. Okay. Pluto featuring Sexy Red.
Okay.
Sexy
Whim
Red's big.
Whammy.
A Lululemon.
Whim Whammy.
Well, maybe that'll be on their earnings call next quarter.
You know, Whim Whammy has affected
Whim Whammy
us.
really helped offset the tariff. Yeah, I think your take is exactly right. And I think next quarter, the tariff things will be valid.
Next quarter, yes.
So we talked about this last night. What I was told by a friend who works for a conglomerate like freight company. Shanghai to New York was $1,500 90 days ago. It's $7,500 today
That's still not bad.
because they're front loading goods because
Yeah.
no one knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen August 12th, right? I think August 12th is the date. But the point is, I put in ChatGPT, Grok, and Google. I don't import goods. And I get a different answer what the tariffs are. What are the tariffs? Drama. You import goods.
Nobody pays tariffs.
Full disclosure, I haven't imported goods in the last month, but I think that right now they're 30%.
Right. 30% higher than they were before.
I think they're just 30%. I don't know. I know there was a pause.
I literally put in every AI fucking engine and I don't get an answer.
My problem is like literally the other day. So we're like waiting. We're trying to time when to import the next set of goods. The other day, you know, like a judge or a court said that tariffs were unlawful. So there was like no tariffs for a day. And then they reinstated them at the end of the day. So it's literally like, I don't know. I'm going to check when it's time for me to actually send the containers. But I think that it's 30% today.
I think it's 32 and people are worried that it gets 145.
It's not. That shit's over.
So tomorrow they meet. Lutnick, Besant, and the Chinese.
I bet after he saw Elon's face, fucking Xi's going to be like, listen, Besant, whatever you want, bro.
Yeah, tough guy Besant.
Yeah, chill out, man. What do you want?
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Yeah. I just
So
think
what do you think's going to happen? Sorry. Let's talk. So tomorrow they meet in London.
It's all fake. It's all good. Everything's.
I think Xi leaves with a black eye and tariffs are 10%.
On the S&P 500.
I know the
Friday.
stock market's going to rip. There's no question.
Everything's over. It's just done. We're done.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think it'll be sorted out. Because look, I always said this, but I think that as hard as it is on us or as scary, I think it's way worse on China. And I think everyone needs to save face.
He didn't say that. He said everything was fine in China.
No.
But everything looks fine. No. Everyone's optimistic. I think
everyone's optimistic because they know that it's going to get resolved. They're confident that it's going to get resolved. That was the vibe that I got. They don't want it to continue. They definitely need American consumerism.
Right.
And I think it's good for America and China if they just resolve the situation and just keep it going.
Because you got to understand, both leaders, especially Xi, nobody can look weak. Like they got to talk behind the scenes and figure this all out. But both people are going to posture so hard to what they say to the media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, of course they have to.
Yeah, I heard it's done already. It's done. They're both sides just like taking time to like show that they're like
we're
strong.
good.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That seems the most realistic.
Hot take.
You're Chinese, right?
There we go.
Hey! We got the inside scoop.
There we go. It's done.
So we're going to have all-time highs this week.
We already had our
It's going to be
all-time highs.
bananas.
2%.
2% away from all-time highs.
Are we?
Yeah.
If there's even
after this podcast hit the wire.
Yeah.
After tomorrow's meeting, they're going to come out and
They'd be like,
say like, oh,
I want hand in hand in the sky.
Ugh, the market would just rip.
Besant and some Chinese guy. Just like
Besant just
Besant, whoever Besant's equal is. Yeah.
beats the shit out of some guy.
Yeah.
All right, well, last topic.
We should have Besant and whoever his counterpart is do like a Jake Paul style fight. Whoever wins gets to set the tariffs.
But it's a draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would bet on Besant, given Elon's black eye.
I agree. American dominance is back. What's your favorite topic here? Dave's
Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
I thought it was one location on Fairfax. I had no idea. I drive by it every single day for the last couple of years.
Is Drake
it got sold for $1 billion fucking. I
wonder what Drake made. Did Drake make like 100 million?
Really?
He's in on it. Does anyone have any idea how?
I know Drake was an early investor.
So hot chicken, I know was a trend. Is it like a thing you guys do? I don't eat chicken, so I don't know.
Oh, us meat eaters.
Whites?
I was like, who's us? Yeah. Like which one of you guys am I? People fucking love Dave's Hot Chicken.
But just hot chicken in general. I know it's a thing.
I mean, look,
it's
I think
absolutely a
like
thing.
anything spicy.
But it's back to simple too. It's a whole restaurant around spicy chicken.
Yeah.
Like, you go to Wendy's, you get a spicy chicken sandwich. Like spicy chicken is always a thing.
So it's very similar. So in New York, the number one pizza spot, I don't know if in New York or in America, was a place called Scar's Pizza, which I eat at literally every time I go to New York. And they have a hot honey ham pizza. I get it just hot honey.
No wonder you're having those weight problems.
I'm slamming 3-4 slices.
You're like, I want to dress up, but I've gained a little weight. Fucking every time I go to New York, I get a honey ham, hot honey fucking shit.
I mean, if you saw what I ate all day, like I'm unbelievably in shape for what I eat.
Right. Yeah.
But hot honey is just hot anything. I feel like
It says Drake owns a significant amount, but is unspecified.
So what, 10?
I would say 10%.
I'd say 5 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably
Because
sounds
also,
right.
like, you got to think, if he got in early, like it's Drake, you're going to give him.
Yeah, these guys, these like Armenian guys started with like $900. Like,
But think about it, just Dave's Hot Chicken. Like they made a restaurant around a very simple
yeah.
item. They have like,
Even someone I was, like I was at my kids' baseball games all weekend. Someone's like, I always figured Dave was like some guy from Nashville that started Hot Chicken. It's
I
like some
know.
Armenians from LA.
is that who it is?
Yes, literally.
Well, fucking congrats. Who'd they sell to?
Subway.
Rourke.
Yeah,
Rourke Capital
Rourke
owns Subway,
Capital bought
owns
Subway,
a
yeah.
lot of.
Just
That's-
imagine, like it's just sick. Like I think we're also so wrapped up in like tech and stuff. Like there's a billionaire close to it walking around, and it's like fucking spicy chicken tenders. Like how'd you make your fortune? Well,
I
spicy
think,
tenders.
yeah, and I think it goes back to like simplicity and execution.
That's awesome.
The best business is in and out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what would you value if Dave's Hot Chicken is worth $1 billion? What's In and Out worth?
100 billion.
100. No, in my opinion, with the way I think, 250 billion.
Yeah.
250.
Because I think.
I actually don't
Let me tell you
disagree.
why.
I said 100.
Let me tell you
And I
why.
think I undercut it.
Let me tell you why. I think until the end of time, like if you wanted to, you could scale In and Out so massively.
You haven't scratched the surface.
You haven't even scratched the surface. I think the brand power of In and Out, like it's almost a universally thought of
So-
thing that when you land in LA, you have to go to In and Out.
So I'll give you even something.
Crazy.
I'll give you something in it funnier. We live in Southern California.
Yeah.
The last 48 hours, my oldest was at an all-star tournament in La Cañada,
Yeah.
which is like a suburb north of LA in Pasadena kind of area. I cannot tell you how many kids were wearing In-N-Out socks.
I mean, you said it
My
best.
kids wear In-N-Out socks
No, but so
twice a week.
Yeah, you said it best when you said it's priceless.
It's priceless.
No,
There's
here's
no
the
price,
thing.
'cause
Like,
forever it'll
you're
just
talking
mint
about
money.
locals, and I can tell you personally how many friends that land in LAX and
Yeah.
go to that In and Out.
Yeah.
Immediately.
It's like how many like wherever their locations are, right? Really small,
Like,
but it's
I
like,
would guess that LAX In and Out is probably their highest grossing one.
yeah, apparently they're building like a 4-story one in Vegas. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The point is, it's like a household name. It's a debate. It's a whatever, and it's such a small amount of
Yeah.
locations. It's-
And if you're In and Out manager, you make $175,000 a year.
They've always paid their employees.
I think brands like that are priceless.
I agree.
Also, it's just a funny experience. You guys know this, but I became friends with the owner of In.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And so I have a lot of insight. And I don't think this is sensitive.
I got some good In and Out gift cards from you.
And some merch.
because I went to her house and she showed me they do like a yearly like team building retreat where they like have celebrities come or like whatever, and they like act out thing. Like it's a really, because it's like a family business.
Yeah.
But it's a really unique.
And she's like our age, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They've
she
had a
runs
lot
it.
of
Crazy
tragedy.
stories. I mean, crazy stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, that brand is worth it just off you could do a Netflix documentary.
Oh, yeah.
that would-
That's a different.
That's actually a
that's
good
a
idea.
different podcast. We should
People
do a
don't
podcast.
realize like the story of In-N-Out is kind of priceless itself.
It is. It's like you don't know it. Like there's, movies about the founder or whatever about McDonald's, and like they could very easily do that about In-N-Out, but nobody even knows really the story.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I landed today.
In-N-Out.
I went to the hotel. I tried to order In and Out.
You
and
can't.
You can't.
No.
You can't. I was like,
It's God
is there a
mode.
That's
hack?
the other thing. You could do ghost kitchens. You could do that thing could scale so endlessly.
Yeah.
You could do In-N-Out patties in every grocery store.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Before we go, my friend Lynn's here, who I randomly met on the internet Probably in what, 99, 98?
Jeez, and you're asking what me and Anand are up to?
Yeah.
You're meeting dudes on the internet?
I mean, Chinese dudes on the internet.
Yeah,
98, 99.
Right.
Lock them up.
You were at Carnegie Mellon?
Yeah. I mean, we had competing like teen social
websites.
media business.
Even more sketchy.
Yeah, teen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So Lynn had Kiwi Box. I had School Gossip. I messaged him. We became really good friends.
Before
And we've-
5'4"?
What?
Before 5'4"?
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
he was a
98.
freshman in
Yeah,
college.
That's crazy.
And we ended up becoming good friends. And, you know, we all had many lives after that as entrepreneurs. And he's in town. He's heading to Hawaii for vacation. But I know, you know, recently Lynn, I know, was always into travel.
Yep.
Travel rewards. What's funny is the other person I met during that same era is Kevin Colleran.
Uh-huh.
Kevin, who was like 10th employee at Facebook, has a company called Slow Ventures now. And he gave me a lot of discount codes for hotels and
Oh, corporate codes.
corporate
Yeah,
codes.
yeah.
You know, all the big ones. People who listen will know what that means. And I use it literally to this day to book a hotel anywhere in the world. And so you were telling me right before we started, you launched something in the travel space.
Yeah. We launched this thing called bookit.com. Like everything you just talk about, right? Like the people who's really into travel and points and miles hacking, like literally on the car over, Dee picked me up from a hotel. And I just found this like 60,000 mile like American airline like business class flying back from Japan, and like I just like was like in the car booking it. Like it's a lot of work. I try to show my like parents and my friends how to do it. Like everybody I talk to, and they're all like, "Oh, like you know, like show me how to do it." And then I start telling them, and they're just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like it's like I was like, did you book that thing?" Like they're like, "Oh no." It's like so. What I came to realize is the universe of the people that really are into like points nerds like me are like 1 million, maybe 2 million. Like business will never scale if you cater to the points hackers, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I get like a scalable version of that actually works for much more people? Like my mom don't want to think. She just want
we
to
all
go
have
to
points, miles. I have so much shit. I have never used anything.
Yeah. So Book It is we essentially, you know, we done a lot of work with American Express as an investor in our company, and like and a lot of other investors. So we done a lot of work building kind of travel and experiential, right? Experiential meaning like entertainment, concerts, sports tickets, all of that. Like we aggregated into one platform, about 2 million different merchants. There's wholesale negotiated agreements. And so essentially it's a membership platform. And once you're in, depends on the tier of membership, you get all our margin. Like if I basically negotiated a 40-50% margin with a cruise line every time you book, I'm still not allowed to discount the price per our agreement, but you get the same price you would pay on Expedia, and then you'll get like 40-50% rewards back. And the rewards, what we do is like we do that in kind of a stable coin. So it's always right. It's not up to me to say the value of that. You always have that back to you.
But stablecoin's USD, right?
Yeah. So we basically have a stable point because like we don't want to be like actually issuing a US dollar because that's like requires money transmission. So we're still a point. So the point is every 100 points backed by like a stable coin, could be a USDC, could be a USDT. We accept 3,000 different crypto. We accept 50 different types of points that's being added. Like once, you know, like every few weeks, we're getting more approval from like different points program to allow you to spend points. You can also just pay with credit card or whatever, right? So like compared to what you would book like a trip to Expedia, we were just talking about like, you know, cruises, hotels, resorts. Like hotels, usually you get like 10-15% back. Some of the resort stuff, if you're going a week in like Riviera Maya or like Cancun or whatever, it's like insane deal. It's like $2,000.
So where should
for a
we go?
week.
What's the best deal?
The best deal.
I'm not going on a fucking cruise.
No, don't go on cruise. You don't have to go on cruise. Like like Riviera Maya, like so
like Mayakoba, one of those places.
Yeah, it's a 5-star like Grand Lux resort. It's like I think like $2,800. You get $1,400 rewards back, like 50%.
Really?
And
right?
that 1,400 goes to USDC.
Goes to in this thing called Spree Points. Spree Points is essentially 100-1 to USDC. Like,
so they basically are getting the money right back.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but like you're not locked to spend that point with that resort again. You can spend that for.
But you have to spend it somewhere.
You can spend it somewhere.
It can't go. It doesn't go back to your bank account.
It's 2 million merchants, right? We can't let you go back to because that's like money transmission and all of that, right? So it's still a point, but it's like 2 million travel merchants and experience merchants. You can spend that for a Taylor Swift concert ticket. You can actually, there's products too, right? You can buy a Tumi luggage in there. And there's like 30% on
the Rosewood is good there.
Rosewood is good. You get
is
about
that
10%.
Part of the deal?
Yeah. So we have like a hotel search engine that's basically every major hotel there is, right? So you'll get like regular hotels are like 5 to 15% rewards back.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's on top of what you get on.
What do you have for the Cathys? You got a deal?
I do. So the Gold membership normally is $99 a year. Okay. So 80% off. So go to join.bookit.com/group chat.
Okay.
So 80% off. So it's $19 for the first year. So
and then we're getting all those deals. I love
discount, 80%.
And then there's a diamond tier membership. The three of you will get it. So.
Heck yeah, we're going to.
We like Diamond.
Yeah,
we like Diamond.
Yeah,
that's a good number.
Yeah. We need to go to Cancun.
We're not,
group chat
migrants.
live.
Yeah. No, we should totally do. Like we are literally. This is like we're literally repositioning a cruise ship for like an event. Like that's like how much volume we're moving.
Oh, you guys are doing crazy.
Yeah. Like
awesome.
Kind of a promotional like.
Who's going on cruises?
So many people.
Cruises are really soft. Like cruises are down.
Really?
They're down?
Since the tariff talk and all of that, like we see the booking volume, right? Like people, like there's like a lot of cruise weddings. Cruise wedding bookings are like vanished in like March and April.
I've never heard of a cruise wedding.
Which is like... Thank God you haven't.
You only know rich
big
people,
business.
so that's the problem.
Oh my gosh.
Cruise weddings.
But I think there's like the whole consumer confidence was kind of shaken in like March, April timing.
Okay.
So now it's coming back.
What's booming? Give me one thing that's booming.
High-end hotels and resorts are still booming. Yeah. So summer is like.
I think ultra high net worth is not missing a beat.
Booming.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, the market's hot.
Normal places like Europe,
popular,
Japan, like sold out.
Right. Those damn
All
cruises.
right. So what's the website again?
It's bookit.com and the link is join.bookit.com/group chat.
Amazing.
All right. 80% off. Thank you, man.
Yeah. And we did that Diamond membership.
Yeah, let's go.
I like that Diamond.
I
would love
I messaged the Diamond link to Anand already. I'll send it to you.
Okay. I'm definitely.
I love Diamond. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
What do we got? YouTube?
Comment from Alexis Bennett on YouTube. Long time Kathy here. Thank you, Anand, for coming up with this idea. One of my favorite episodes in a long time. Please keep them coming. Also, Rice says a goat.
Yep.
I tried Gato at Revolve Fest and I've been craving them ever since. I was sad that I couldn't find them in my grocery store, but definitely heading to the website now to order them with the discount code. Awesome.
Nice. Shout out to Gato.
From a couple shout outs from Adrian. Shout out to my coworker, Nick Vicari, who is creative director at Monster Energy and just welcomed his second child. Congrats. I put him on to the podcast about a year ago. And he has been listening since. Fun
How's
story.
Monster stock, by the way? They still just...
I had a Monster today.
What?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, had to go to fucking baseball games all day. I pulled up to a store and I told my kids, sit in the car, grab the Monster,
Dad's
chugged
getting
it.
a Monster.
Did it get you through it?
It was great.
Yeah, it probably felt like he was on coke at the
I
fucking
literally, I was
game.
just like too hyper.
Yeah, there's. I mean that monster stock is one of the most
It's the best stock.
secret killers.
From Nick, shout out to my beautiful wife, Samantha, for giving birth to our first baby girl, Eloise. You're an incredible mother, and we make a really great team. Newborn stage is hard, but we are in this together. Awesome. Congratulations.
Just got a tweet in the group chat. LAPD chief, and I quote, "We are overwhelmed."
Oh God.
You're wrong by
Who
the
said
fake
that?
riots.
The LAPD chief. Tell the
They're
agitators to go
overwhelmed
home.
by the National Guard.
No, they're overwhelmed by the agitators.
No.
Yeah. You better watch your people.
The fucking liberal
Your
provoked.
people. You said they're the ones.
The lib-funded
From-
agitators.
From Luis, shout out to my best friend Justin. He put me on the pod 4 years ago, and now it's my favorite podcast. I want to wish him and his girlfriend Grace the best of luck in LA as he recently moved there. Run, Justin!
I know. Justin!
It's the riots!
Bad timing. Oh my God, Justin.
You agitators are ruining Justin and Grace's first fucking
Justin,
day.
we're going to get it cleaned up. Okay. You know what else I wanted to mention that was a Rogan thing? I saw a clip
What's that?
that where they called out the like LA fire funds not going to the. Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
Okay, so I won't even. We'll talk about it later.
It's
but
fake, right?
just essentially that they did that big concert and everything to raise money. They raised
They
$100
stole
million, and like it's all.
Yeah, it's all fake. Everything's fake.
Yeah.
People are just stealing fucking everything.
I mean, there's an industry of people that when a natural disaster happens is like, yes.
Let me tell you, tomorrow when you get the link to donate to anything,
Yeah.
don't.
Donate to the LA
Yeah.
riot fund.
Yeah, the LA Riot Fund. We lost 16 porta parties
5,000
today.
bricks. Yep. Okay. Well, yeah, sorry, Justin. We'll get things cleaned up here, and I'm sure you'll like it. Good luck in LA.
Hope you live in the West Side.
Yep. Okay, that's all we got.
Yep.
That's all we got. Everyone have a great week. Where are you this week?
Back to New York.
Back for
Are
some
you
honey
leaving
ham.
tonight?
Honey ham pizza.
Honey ham pizza. Hold the hand.
Yep.
Are you leaving tonight?
No, I'm leaving Monday.
Nice. Okay. Well, everyone have a great week. If you're in LA, stay safe. But
He's
it's a really small area.
escaping the chaos.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be with the riots.
Yeah, but apparently it's happening in New York too. The agitators.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah, they made it to New York.
You
All right.
still do the subway or no?
Not this week.
No, it's agitated.
Okay, have a good week. Thank you for listening. Peace.